Hey YouTube, it's Michael W here of VisMichaelW.com, and today I'll be talking about the Zaggfolio for the new iPad. As you can see listed on Zagg's packaging, they have it called the 3rd generation iPad. This is actually a box from the iPad 2, and they just slapped a sticker on it. According to Zagg, they didn't have boxing or packaging ready yet, but the product itself is brand new. So for speed of the video, I already have it set up, but I will show you how to assemble it and disassemble it later. And again, this is the new iPad, has a 5 megapixel camera, and as you can see, this case has a large opening for the camera, does accommodate it nicely, as well as all the other buttons and functions. You know, they're completely accessible, and it fits as it should. Now, getting right into the video, as you can see, the screen is currently turned off, and some people were having issues where, you know, when they would open the case, it wouldn't automatically turn on or turn off. I didn't have that problem, so let me go ahead and demonstrate it when I open the case. As you can see, the screen instantly turned on, and when I close it, you should hear the lock sound when it turns off. Heard it? Okay. Let's go ahead and open it up again. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just go into Pages real quick, and basically, you know, I'm not going to go over every function that's been done in the video, but I will show you a couple of things. So, you know, I have pretty big hands, as you can see, and just typing, and they do have several shortcuts such as cut, copy, paste, but, you know, from using a regular keyboard, I'm just used to Command A, Command C, Command V. But I don't want to spend too much time on that. I want to more address issues in this video that people have been having, and you know, so I'm just going to hit the home key and go back there. And you know, some people were talking about the fit, the iPad, the new iPad being really tight in the case, something like that. So you know, I'll go ahead and show you the disassembly and assembly of this part. As you can see, I'm just sliding the iPad out. It didn't take any effort to do that. And as far as the installation, line it up with the track, and I just want to show you how simple it is. I'm using one finger. Just slid it right in there. Show it one more time. It's very easy to put it in and out of the case. The only thing is, obviously I have a camera in front of me, so I'm not really at a natural angle that I will be doing this. But I didn't have any issues with this case. It fits perfectly. I do want to show you a couple other things about the case that I wasn't aware of from looking at the reviews and the pictures online. You know, when I first saw this case, I always thought that it was something like the N-Case Snap, where it was a 1mm thick, really hard case that you couldn't bend it in any kind of manner. That's not the case. As you can see from looking at here, the case, it flexes easy. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind when you're talking about putting a device like an iPad in it. The case does flex, so it's not like it's something that's really stiff to the point that you wouldn't be able to move it in any type of way should, you know, there be any kind of fit issues. Another thing that I do want to show you, let me put it back together real quick. This was a question I had as well. And that was basically about what happens if you wanted to use it in book mode, you know, if you wanted to flip it completely backwards like that. And, you know, as you can see, it doesn't go completely flat. There is definitely an angle on it, and I wouldn't use it like this, but yes, the case can be flipped completely backwards. So like I said, I wouldn't recommend it. It doesn't really feel comfortable, but it can be done. And you know, someone else would probably say, okay, if I were to do that, I would probably remove the keyboard first. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I have the keyboard out. At this point, it's just the iPad in there. Before I show you the book mode, let's just look at something else first. So first of all, the lock, it still does function perfectly, but the case, it's not as, you know, because first of all, as I said a second ago, it's not something that's like a millimeter thick or whatever. It's not a solid case, so it feels a little flimsy in this way. So you know, for one, I couldn't use it like this, but if you wanted to, you can go ahead and do that. And again, the sleep wake, it still does function correctly. And when I flip it backwards, again, you see it doesn't quite line up in a natural way that would make me want to hold it like a book. So as I said, someone can do it, nothing that stops you from it, but me personally, I couldn't use it like that. You know, like I said, I don't want to really consider this a review in the point where I'm going through every feature. That's been done several times, and as I have, I'm sure you've seen all those videos. I more or less just wanted to address a couple issues that some people were having, and it's a little bit easier if you take the iPad out before you put the keyboard back in. So let's go ahead and do that. But you know, just showing you again, because that was my biggest concern, is how simple or hard it was to put the iPad in there. And as you can see, it's very straightforward and simple. I didn't get this online. I actually went into Best Buy today and picked it up. I was, you know, checking Twitter out, and someone had mentioned that it's available in Best Buy, so I stopped by there, picked it up. Didn't have any issues, but it's funny, the person that told me that they were available at Best Buy, they're having the issue where when they close the case, the screen doesn't turn on or off. And you know, I've pretty much went through everything that I wanted to show you in this video, I believe. Let me just take a quick flip around the case and see if there's anything that I left out. I don't believe so. So, you know, at this point I'm getting ready to end it. Let's lock it again. Heard it turn off. And, you know, I'm very happy with this case at this point. I was debating on buying it for several weeks because I wasn't sure if it would fit or if it wouldn't fit. And, you know, with the knowledge I have now, after actually testing it out, I'm glad that I went ahead and purchased it. I will definitely be using this a lot. And one last thing that I don't think that I fully addressed is about the locking of the case. You know, I did mention that when you close it, the screen does turn on and off and it locks, but the actual security of the case, that's what I'm referring to when I say lock in that manner. As you can see, I'm, you know, just trying to pry it open, and it is definitely securely locked, so it's not going anywhere. Some people said, you know, with the new iPad being, 0.03 inches thicker, that there were some types of issues. I didn't experience that. And just looking, I'll try to get it on a good angle. As you can see, looking straight through there, the iPad actually doesn't touch the keyboard. So on this area right here, it is a lot closer because that's where it locks. And I can't quite get it on that angle for the camera. Oh, there it is. But as you can see, you can look right through there. So it's not touching at all. So that was something I worried about. I said, you know, what if the keys are constantly banging on the screen? Maybe that can cause it to scratch over time. But that's not the case. Like I said, great product. I do recommend it. And, you know, like I said, if you're in the field for it, I don't see any reason to, you know, hold off purchasing it. One last thing that I do want to say is, you know, there is, again, plenty space in here. So the iPad slides in and out nice and freely. I don't have any type of shield on this case. If I did have a shield, I'm not so sure if it would still fit in there as freely as it does now. Maybe it would, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not putting a shield at any point, but I think you would definitely have a little bit more difficulty getting it in and out of the case with a shield, but I think you still will be able to. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. And stay tuned for more videos. Thanks.